6 receptions in this job. I was with my son, who's 8, and we went to the start of the Tour de France in Harrogate. And on the whole, people very friendly, lots of selfies, lots of handshakes. But there were a few jeers from parts of the crowd. And I said to my son, Elwyn, don't worry, you know, these things happen with the job I've got. And he said, no, Dad, don't worry, that'll be the French. And I thought that was... Anyway, the point about this morning is to try and answer your questions. So no long speech from me. I just wanted to kick things off by saying this. For the last 4 years, the government I lead has been pursuing a long-term economic plan for our country. Now, I'm not going to tell you that everything has been fixed, that every problem has been sorted. There's still a lot to do to recover from the very deep recession this country suffered after 2008. But I think what I can say is that the plan is working, and we should stick to that plan, and you can see it in the number of people that have got jobs, the number of new businesses that have started, the recovery that we've seen in our economy. But all I really want to say in terms of introduction is that this is a plan that's not just based on facts and figures in here, it's also got the right values in here. So when we said we were going to cut the deficit, it's important because this country's been borrowing too much money. And the figures are that we've cut the deficit by 1/3, next year it'll be cut by 1/5. But the values are that that's right, because it shouldn't be right for us to pass on debts to our children that we're not prepared to pay ourselves.
The question asked Angela Eagle in a local supermarket recently. I asked her, why would any party get themselves into a referendum with the almost certainty that they're going to lose that referendum? And of course I'm talking about Europe, when it's our biggest trading partner.
Well, I think the truth about why get yourself into a referendum is quite an easy question to answer in a way. Look, we have a representative democracy. You send Angela Eagle, or me, or David Mowat, your local MP here in Warrington, you send people to Parliament to debate issues and make decisions on your behalf about how much money we spend on the health service, what we do with education, what our foreign policy should be. We have a representative democracy. I think that's great. We shouldn't have referenda on all of those issues, but when you're effectively changing the rules of your democracy, so if you're saying Europe should have more power and we should have less power, I think it's right to have a referendum. People should have a right to give an answer to the question, how and who governs you? And I think we've been badly served in this country by not having any referenda on Europe since that original one in 1975. Because you've had governments, Tory ones and Labour ones, who passed these treaties that have passed power from Britain to Brussels, but you've never been asked that in a referendum. So don't have referendums on all the things that Parliament discusses on a day-to-day basis, but you should have them on the big constitutional issues. We need the microphone. You may not need it, but just in case, here it comes.
I was going to ask, if you didn't work in government, or your career path had taken a different track, what would your alternative dream job be?
Oh, that is a really good one. Well, before I worked in politics, before I became an MP, I had a job in a business not totally unlike this. I worked for a big media company that was a big part of ITV. It owned businesses in America and businesses in Europe, and I enjoyed that work. It was satisfying, employing people, trying to run the business well, trying to be part of a team. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was passionate about being a member of Parliament because I believe in public service. I really love, quite apart from being Prime Minister, but I love being a member of Parliament, an MP, representing a local area, trying to tackle people's problems and issues and trying to do the best for the part of the country that you represent. It's an amazing opportunity to have, to work for others, to serve others. And if I wasn't doing that, I don't quite know what I would do, because I like what I do. I enjoy being a member of Parliament. It's an enormous privilege to be Prime Minister, but of course it's a privilege you know is not going to go on forever. And I have this unique sort of job where, in the end, the British people decide whether you go on doing it or whether you stop doing it. And so the decision, in a way, is not within my control. But I just hope that when we come to 9 months' time, I can convince everybody that we've got a plan, we're delivering on that plan, it isn't finished yet, and I'd love to finish the job, because I'm passionate about this country. I think we can be a massive success story in this century as we have been in previous centuries. We've got to do some difficult things. We need an honest and clear assessment of our strengths in the country. But if we play to them, there's nothing that we can't do or that we can't do.